Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you.
Angel Reese was asked about this exact statement, and she decided to duck
the nasty facial expressions coinciding with her answer. You can see it clear as day. It's written on her face. She's disgusted.
Angel Reese embarrassed herself on live television in front of a global audience when she backed away from her own bold claim that fans tune into women's basketball because of her. That moment won't disappear anytime soon. Instead of standing by her words, she dodged the question and denied it outright. It was a disappointing display from someone who once labeled herself a superstar.
So she doesn't want to take responsibility for her own word.
Have you ever watched someone light the match themselves and then act shocked when the flames hit? That's exactly what Angel Reese looked like at her latest press conference. The same player who once said she's the reason people watch women's basketball sat in front of reporters and was handed an easy question, one based entirely on her own words. And instead of owning it, she crumbled instantly, folding under pressure when it mattered most.
Long since I've seen this clip, I forgot how arrogant Angel Reese sounded. I forgot how full of herself Angel Reese sounded. I forgot not only how nasty she sounded, the nasty facial expressions coinciding with her answer. You can see it clear as day. It's written on her face. She's disgusted.
The question couldn't have been simpler. Do you still believe people watch women's basketball because of you too? Her answer? Just 2 words. Next question. And no, it wasn't bold or confident. It was awkward. It was uncomfortable. It felt like a verbal system crash. That moment has now become the defining snapshot of her WNBA identity. Not her performance, not her numbers, not her impact, just a viral clip of her avoiding the one thing she couldn't escape, her own words. That clip has already gone global, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's the moment that will follow Angel Reese for the rest of her career, especially as long as arenas aren't selling out. Her posture was rigid. Her expression looked like someone caught exaggerating on a resume. The silence in the room was painfully loud. For a player who spent nearly a year marketing herself as the moment, she vanished the instant she was asked to prove it. And let's remember what she was running from in the first place. Just last year, Angel went on national television and confidently declared, "People watch women's basketball because of me, too." She even doubled down, saying that years from now, people would look back and say the reason they watched wasn't just because of one person, it was because of her as well.
The clip heard around the world. The clip that will be following Angel Reese for the rest of her career. As long as her games don't sell out.
And I want y'all to understand, she said it proudly, full of attitude, full of confidence, like she genuinely believed her Instagram following translated directly into sold-out WNBA arenas. But that same quote came flying back at her like karma in sneakers, and when it did, she had nothing ready. No stats, no reasoning, no defense. Just, next question. If confidence has a sound, that wasn't it. What we heard instead was a balloon slowly losing air. As long as her games aren't selling out, as long as celebrities aren't showing up courtside, and as long as there's no real surge in viewership, that clip isn't going anywhere. This wasn't just an awkward moment, it was a full collapse. Angel Reese went from media favorite to someone dodging questions like it's dodgeball, and not even doing that well. You don't beg for the spotlight and then hide when it turns on. That's not star energy, that's middle school assembly vibes. Now sure, maybe it was a bad day. Maybe she was exhausted. Maybe the planets weren't aligned. Fine. But you know what isn't affected by retrogrades? Attendance numbers. The receipts don't care about excuses. Let's talk facts. In 2024, the Chicago Sky averaged about 8,000 fans per home game. That's respectable for a local event, but for someone being marketed as the league's next breakout superstar, it falls completely flat.
Sorry, young lady. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be watching the WNBA additionally for you. This is all about...
That's barely a blip on the radar. Now compare that to Indiana Fever games featuring Caitlin Clark. Take a moment and let it sink in. 17,000 plus fans, night after night. That's real demand. That's what being a true draw looks like. That's actual star power. Caitlin Clark brings the money, the charter flights, the TV ratings, and because of that, the WNBA is booming. Now, let's rewind to Reese's big homecoming at LSU. On paper, it should have been a celebration. A hero's welcome. Packed house, excitement everywhere. Instead, just 6,000 fans in an arena built for more than 13,000. Not even half full. That's not a triumphant return. That's indifference from the very place that helped build her brand. If your own school can't manufacture hype to see you again, that's a serious image problem. She talks about sold-out arenas, but which ones exactly that Caitlin Clark isn't playing in? I'm genuinely asking. Vegas?
No.
Want more evidence? Let's check the preseason numbers. Chicago Sky versus the Minnesota Lynx, 4,600 fans. That's not even enough people to create real atmosphere. Then the game in Minnesota, 7,600 in attendance. And let's be honest, they weren't there for Angel. They came to watch the Lynx. So if Reese was counting on hometown loyalty or national buzz to carry her, it never arrived. The wave she expected simply didn't show up. And somehow, people are mocking the reporter for asking the question when it was her quote from last season, right in the middle of the basketball year. All the reporter did was ask how she feels about her own words now. And her response? Next question. Here's the hard truth. Angel isn't putting fans in seats. She's not even sparking curiosity. She's not making anyone say, I have to be there. The data doesn't hint at it, it shouts it. She's not the reason people are showing up. That whole people watch because of Me Too storyline has completely collapsed under the reality of empty sections and bored ushers. What about TV numbers? Go ahead, name the players consistently pulling over 1 million viewers per game who aren't named Caitlin Clark. I'll wait. Then Angel pivots to, I'm happy to play the villain role, followed immediately by, but don't be mean to me. And just when you think the evidence runs out, the jersey sales tell the final story. Because when fans truly believe in a player, they buy the jersey. They wear the name. They invest in the brand. So, what's the verdict? Caitlin Clark's jersey became the second best-selling basketball jersey across the entire sport. Yes, even counting the NBA. The only player who sold more? Steph Curry. Let that sink in. Steph Curry, a 4-time NBA champion, MVP, global icon. And then Caitlin Clark. And once again, the contrast couldn't be clearer.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of Me Too, and I want y'all to realize.
About 1.3 million viewers tuned in on Sunday afternoon just to watch Caitlin Clark return to Iowa as a pro and start pulling up from absurd range, like it was nothing. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's jersey? You can find it sitting untouched on clearance racks. It didn't even crack the top 10. That's not influence. That's being invisible. When the list of top-selling jerseys comes out and your name isn't anywhere near it, you don't get to claim you're the reason people are watching. You're not even the reason they're buying. Those comments from last year? Pure spectacle. A statement made for attention, not reality. Saying people watch because of you looks ridiculous in hindsight. And let's push it even further. Caitlin Clark didn't just outsell everyone in women's basketball. She outsold LeBron James. Read that again. LeBron, multiple championships, global icon, and Caitlin's merchandise was still moving faster. That isn't hype. That's history. That's real demand you can't manufacture. Meanwhile, Angel's sitting courtside waiting on a PR tweet to stir something up. And if you still want proof of who people actually want to see, WNBA teams are literally relocating games to NBA arenas just to fit the crowds showing up for Caitlin Clark. Think about how wild this is. Preseason games are being moved to bigger arenas because the Caitlin Clark effect is that real. Meanwhile, no one's rearranging a single chair for Angel Reese. She asked for the spotlight, made the claim that people watched because of her, and when it came time to back it up, she had nothing. Clark didn't say a word. The fans, the numbers, and the league spoke for her. Sold-out arenas, celebrity crowds, record jersey sales. One player is building the movement, the other is arguing with the receipts. When you talk like a star, the proof has to follow, and right now, it doesn't.